What's up, everybody? Hello and welcome to the second of what will be many DappRadar community calls. It is really cool to see so many faces out there engaged with the future of the world's Dapp store. The date today is Thursday, May 19th. I just want to give a shout out because we've got a limited number of 350 popes available for today's event. And what you need to do is go over to Discord after the event and send a DM to Alex. That's Alex Mammoth, so AlexMammoth, hashtag 7753. Use the secret code CCall2 and you'll get a Pope. Sounds pretty complicated. I'll go through it again at the end. Don't worry, it's not mission impossible. It's all good. So what are we doing here today? The DappRadar Community Call is just one of several efforts to improve the communication between DappRadar and the community. We'll present to you ongoing developments at these monthly events and discuss our immediate plans. In addition, the community call gives that all-important moment for the audience to step onto the virtual stage and ask some questions. It's that moment that you may have been waiting for to come out. So any questions you've got, please throw them at us. So who do we have fielding these questions today? Who are the brave warriors? So let me introduce myself first. My name's Ian Kane, and I'll be your host for today. It's my role to keep the chats on topic and make sure that the community gets their chance to ask the difficult questions. So who's joining me? We've got Julija. Julija joined DappRadar back in the earlier days and guided early product development with real skill. She's one of the proper pioneers in the team, and it's awesome to have her here today with us to talk about the products and what's in store for the community members overall. Alongside Julija, we've got our fearless leaders, as always, Skirmantas Januškas, Dragon Dunica, and they're here to take any questions from the community and speak about different aspects of what we have planned for the next year. And most importantly, to update you on our plans during what we know is looking like an impending bear market. And also joining us today, one of my faves and an all-round content wizard, Robert Hoogendoorn. He's here today to tell everybody about our ambitious content plans and communications plans, over the coming months and tell you everything and about how we're trying to bring our community closer to everything that we do. Okay. So you've met the brave souls that are on the stage. Let's dive right in. The format for today is that we go through things and explain in some detail. We feel the topics discussed here today are the most relevant, but of course, we're open to hear the community's ideas and thoughts. That's why we're here. So please don't be shy. So firstly, we're going to engage with the elephant in the room, market cycles. So market cycles are merely part of the adventure. DappRadar was actually built in a bear market. I don't know how many people know that. And we have some seriously ambitious plans for 2022 and beyond. However, at this time, I feel it's important to outline how we see things and what steps we're taking now to secure our long-term future. So I'm going to pass over to Skirmantas right now. Skirmantas, fill us in a little bit. How are we feeling? How are we looking? What's happening at DappRadar?
Sure. Now I feel good. I think, I believe it's important to talk about the current market conditions and if that changes anything in our plans. So to begin with, I'll just repeat what you just said, Ian. It's not the first time that we see a bear market. So DappRadar was really born in a bear market. We started back in 2018, early 2018, when the market was going to see a 90% drop. So then over the course of a few years, we saw it again and again. And now we see it again. So it's nothing new for DappRadar. And we were always keeping that in mind, and we were always prepared for this market. So I think the only significant difference between previous times and this time is that DappRadar is much stronger than it was before. And the best thing you can do during bear markets it's building, and this is what we're doing. So we have a team of 75 people now, and quite a few of open positions for marketing, development, research, and more. So if you want to know more about that, if you want to join DappRadar, go to DappRadar.com/careers. So we're waiting for you. You can directly contribute to our success. And so to summarize, nothing really changes. We stick to our plans, and we continue building the world's Dapp store.
Nice. And I think it's very important for people to know how DappRadar came around. And as Skirmantas has correctly said there, that we were building in a bear market. And more importantly, this company isn't decided by a bear or a bull. It's decided by our community and by the hard work that we do in the background. So cool, let's move through. So we needed to address the elephant in the room, obviously. But yeah, we're building. So now we're going to move on to radar token staking. So Dragos, I think you're gonna mention this one. So we spoke about this in the last call. So this is about radar token staking directly on DappRadar.
Yes, thanks for bringing this up. I think we've mentioned about token staking in the previous call as well, and we've done a lot of progress since the last time. When we had the first community call, we were just initiating the token staking process. We were still exploring the market. We wanted to do something novel but useful for our users. And we have always said since the start, and we were always a multi-chain focused company. So we were focusing on multiple chains since the start. We have started with Ethereum, moved to Tron, to EOS. Those were like the popular chains back then when we have started. Now we're covering over like 45 blockchains on DappRadar. You can find apps on a lot of chains, and we want to continue on the same line with all the products that we're launching. Therefore, we have explored multiple options on how can we do the same for the token staking. Sure, there are also simpler ways to do it, but simple for us means much more complex for our users. And we want to always offer the best experience. We all believe that if we want the masses and everybody to join this industry and to use dApps, we need to give them the best user experience. And this is exactly what we're trying to do with token staking. We are using new technologies like Layer 0, which Skirmantas is going to explain a bit more in a second. And now just to communicate a bit from the product perspective, the staking dashboard is in progress. We're going to launch some updates on the website soon. But the smart contracts are still under development, and they're going to go soon for auditing. I'm going to let Skirmantas to explain a bit more about the smart contracts and why we have chosen Layer 0 to develop this staking contract.
Yes, so as Dragan said, smart contracts will be submitted for auditing next week, and we have already agreed with auditors upfront to make it more efficient. But now, what's so exciting about this Radar staking? And the answer is it's going to be the first of a kind, truly multi-chain staking. And also, what Dragan said, I really want to emphasize this: DappRadar was always meant to be multi-chain, and we want Radar token to be on as many of those chains we support. We want to enable all the Dapp users to be able to participate in the Radar ecosystem, and for that reason, we needed a different kind of technology when it comes to Radar staking. So we are working with Layer 0 team to make this happen. And in case you haven't heard about them, Layer 0 is an omni-chain interoperability protocol. It enables reliable cross-chain communication. In case you want to know more, head to layer0.network. That's their website. I don't really want to spend time on technical talks here, but I want to focus on the benefits for you. So what does that mean to you? We're building Radar staking in a way that no matter on which chain you have Radar, you will be able to stake it for the same APR, for the same interest rate. So let's say if you have tokens on Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain blockchains, you can stake on both chains. And what's even better, you can also claim rewards from any of those chains and any of the chains that are going to be supported in the future. I want to tell you a bit about John. So John is a Radar holder, big supporter. And John is a good guy, so be like John. Now, John decides to stake Radar on Ethereum. Every so often, then John wants to claim rewards and restake to get more rewards. It's quite expensive to do that on Ethereum. We know that gas fees are expensive. So instead of claiming and restaking on Ethereum, John just switches to a cheaper chain and uses that same wallet to claim rewards and restake. So like John, you can harvest rewards on any chain you want and spend less on gas fees. I think that's really convenient. And we initially will have it going for Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain, also known as BNB chain currently. But as soon as we launch Radar on another chain, you will be able to stake or claim rewards on that chain as well. And it will not require a ton of work from our side to make this happen. So this multi-chain staking allows us to scale to other chains efficiently. And it's all very exciting. However, there are some drawbacks. Since the Layer 0 technology is still new, there are some edge cases and lack of documentation, which makes the development a bit more difficult. So you might experience some turbulence in the beginning, but I believe the end result will set us well for the future.
All right. Perfect, guys. Thank you very much, both of you, for outlining that. It's a very exciting development at DappRadar, and it sounds like we're getting much, much closer. So keep your eyes locked on our social channels for more updates regarding that. So the kind of overall thing there is convenience for the user. As Skirmantas said rightly, it's not about us. It's about what makes your life easier and what's better for you. So you heard it here first. Be like John. All right. Now let's move on to an update about the multi-chain status of Radar, the actual status. A lot of people are eager for Radar to launch on other chains, BNB chain, Polygon, and we're listening to you. We hear you. So Skirmantas, do you want to jump in again? And let's talk about the multi-chain status of Radar right now. What's happening?
Yeah, it's pretty much continuing from what I just was talking about. So as you might already know, if you're following DappRadar closely, so we're currently already have a token on BSC. So it's live there. If you go to any swap exchange, you can bridge tokens from Ethereum to BSC. That's not a problem. You can already do that. However, there is currently no liquidity on BSC. And we're working with ApeSwap on liquidity incentives. So we expect liquidity incentives on BSC to go live together with multi-chain staking. So that's, coming pretty soon. And since we are talking about Radar on BSC, once the liquidity incentives are in place, we will enable pro compatibility for BSC too. That means, once again, no matter on which chain you hold or stake Radar, you will have access to DappRadar Pro. And then after multi-chain staking and BSC liquidity incentives go live, next target for us is to launch Radar on Polygon. And then we won't stop at 3 chains. So what I can say is, guys, stay tuned, and summer is coming.
Indeed, summer is coming. Exciting stuff. And I think it's another testament to how we're dealing with our community. They spoke, we listened. So that's what these calls are for, and that's why we do this. So now we're going to move through. So we're going to talk about our contribute to earn system that we're developing here. And we touched on contribute to earn in last month's community call. It's going to become the backbone of how DappRadar will scale effectively and include the community in everything that we do. And especially those that have supported us from day one, we want to give back. So Dragos, can you update us a little bit on the progress here so far? I know we're not really like miles ahead of where we were last time, but what's new?
Definitely. Yeah, we did more research. In the meantime, there are multiple platforms out there that can be used for bounties. Like one of the first ones was Gitcoin. In the last call, we have mentioned DWork. In the meantime, we have established connections with Layer 3. All these platforms are focusing on incentivizing and engaging the communities, DAO communities, Dapp communities, into contributing to those ecosystems with knowledge, with content, with code, anything that someone holds, and any knowledge and any value that someone holds can be transferred to a community, to adapt to DAO, and they will be rewarded for that. So we are looking at these platforms. We've done more research. We have investigated ways to make that automatic for code contributions, for on-chain activities. As per example, if someone integrates an NFT marketplace on DappRadar open source repository, we don't necessarily need a lot of manual input for that to be checked using Layer 3 GitHub verification, for example, and then to be rewarded automatically. So the same can happen for any on-chain transaction. If someone does a transaction that is supposed to be part of the bounty, like nobody really needs to approve that. If that was written as a variable in the bounty, that the reward is going to be transferred automatically. So we're trying to find ways on engaging much more with the community. So again, share a bit like why bounties, why the bounties are important for DappRadar. So as you have mentioned, Ian, about contribute to earn, that's like our big plan. Contribute to earn is gonna allow us to expand DappRadar to things like to directions we haven't been able to do so far on our own. We want to get the community to help us to do that, and we're undergoing this transformation process, which is focused on turning DappRadar from a fully centralized and opaque company to a decentralized and transparent entity. So it is important for us, in order to achieve this, to create this environment where the community can shape and contribute to this vision, and to be a part of this journey. So bounties are the first step to do that. And right now we actually have an ongoing proposal in our snapshot. So just go to vote.dappradar.com if you want to vote, if you hold Radar tokens. If you don't hold, you can get some tokens and vote if you want to contribute. And we are trying to select from these two platforms which we have seen as very good and that are filling our needs, layer 3 versus DWork. They're both trying to achieve similar goals, but they can be used in different manners. One is much more project management focused. The other is much more user friendly and targeted towards one-time use cases. But you can read much more in the proposal. You have all the links and all the information necessary there to take the decision and to vote and help us decide which platform you'd like us to use. Because in the end, you, the users and the community members, are the ones that are going to be using that platform. So we want to learn like what is your favorite and which one do you find more user friendly and you'd like to use. So yeah, we are happy to continue with this as soon as the proposal is finished, and that's in about a week. We are going to move forward and we are going to start publishing our first bounties in one of those platforms that is gonna be selected by the community.
Nice. So we are much closer to where we were. That's excellent to hear. So, and I think just to kind of sum that up, it's a lot of you hear a lot of talk about community, and it's something that we take very seriously at DappRadar, because we know that we have a mammoth task ahead of us, right, guys? Like it's a huge task what we're trying to achieve here, and tracking an industry so large with so many chains. And we want your help, and we know that you guys know a lot about this industry. So yeah, it's an outreach, and we're almost there. So keep it locked, and you'll find out a lot more about that in the coming weeks. All right, so now we're going to shift over to the content side of things. So DappRadar, it's the department I work in as well, in the content and comms department. So it's something that is quite close to me. But we've kind of morphed from being possibly a company that, you know, just produce some reports and some other comms output. You know, we're pretty considerable these days. We're quite prolific with our media coverage, and I'm going to invite Rob over to talk about that even more. He heads up content at DappRadar. So, Rob, what plans have we got? What are we doing? Where have we come from? Where are we going?
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. My name is Robert, and I will tell you a bit about our content, marketing, and communication plans for the weeks, months, and years ahead. So, looking at DappRadar, right? I mean, everybody listening here is arguably early in this space and is somewhat hardcore blockchain user. But at DappRadar, down the road, we want to attract newbies. We want to make people first-time Dapp users. And on the other hand, we have active people who are deep into Web3, and we have, of course, our pro users. And we need to make everything we do relevant for everybody. So no matter whether you're a newbie or a pro user, things need to be relevant. And there's lots of stuff we need to build and we need to do for that. Not only on the content side, also on the product side, everywhere. With that in mind, like DappRadar has gone through a huge growth wave last year. And thanks to our research team and our PR team, we have been featured in big mainstream media: Forbes, Fortune, Economist, Bloomberg, Reuters, CNBC, VentureBeat. The list goes on. This shows to us that what we build, what we are developing, is relevant. Media, mainstream users find this data insightful. If we can make this even better and more insightful for everybody, and everybody gets excited when there's NFT sales, when there's yield fund opportunities. No, we're sitting on something big, something that's the world's Dapp store, not for the 2-3 million people now active in the blockchain space, but for the couple of billion people that are going to move into this space. So what we're doing right now, we are improving our onboarding process. So we want new users we want to take them by their hands and show them what DappRadar can do for them. We want to introduce them to the portfolio manager. We want to introduce them to the rankings. We want to explain them what the rankings means. All that kind of stuff is now being reconsidered. We are building new onboarding funnels for users coming from all kinds of directions, email marketing, social media marketing, and so on. On top of that, we have, of course, DappRadar Pro. Everybody holding 5,000 radar tokens is automatically a DappRadar Pro user, as long as they, of course, connect their wallet to the website. And as a DappRadar Pro user, from the product, you get exciting new features, but also from the content side. We are now building exclusive content. We are building guides to help you understand the market better. We are building educational hub to help everybody understand what a bear market means. And content will become a big focus for the editorial team. And the more pro members there are, of course, the more relevant these guides and these tools become. And what's exciting about content and marketing is that it strongly intertwines with product. And but when we talk about product, that's something Julija will tell more about. Talking about content, Ian said, like, last year we did lots of writing, reports, and we're now spreading our wings. We have not communicated this a lot yet, but we are doing lots of video shows, live interviews here on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube. We do a weekly video show on YouTube that we create, and everything is distributed as audio on Spotify. Now, why do we do this? Because it creates a broader market reach. Like, it's not about getting 1 million followers on YouTube or 200 million listens on Spotify. It's about getting the content out there, making it accessible. And that's one of our key focus points with content, making content accessible, making one piece of content accessible across multiple verticals. So when we have a report about blockchain gaming, we want to distribute it on Instagram stories, on TikTok, through Spotify, on YouTube, and so on. We want to preach the word. And through being told, we can also use your help with that. So if you like a piece of content, retweet, share it with your friends. Education is important, and I'd like to think that everybody listening enjoys DappRadar and sees what we are building, believes in what we're building, and all help is very, very, very welcome. So, the community responsibility or participation doesn't end there, of course. Earlier mentioned, contribute to earn. Where we're going with contribute to earn is the community will be able to create contribute to earn and content, by the way. So the community will be able to create guides, to create reviews, to create explanations. Anything that the wider community needs, you guys can create on DappRadar to help people. And when you do that in the near future, you will participate in the Contribute to Earn program, and you can earn rewards for that. And that's really where we're going, to build content, not only as we see fit, but also because you guys in the community want it and participate.
Cool. Thank you, Robert. It's a very exciting time in the content side of things. I think we are, as you said, Robert, we're adding more transparency to what we do overall, things such as community calls, and we are putting our faces out there more and, giving people a real people to associate with in terms of DappRadar. We're not just a big company where you don't know anybody. We're trying to be a bit more personable about things. So nice. Thank you, Robert, for that. Right. Let's jump into our product. So arguably the most important part of DappRadar is, the products that we're building and where we're heading in that regard. So we've been working tirelessly to update our tracking capabilities and to bring users a proper suite of products that complement each other, from our rankings through to the portfolio tracker and our NFT data. So moreover, we're fundamentally in this process of building DappRadar 2.0, as I kind of call it. So who's heading this up? So Julija, I'd like to invite you up to talk us through some product updates and where we headed. We've got the mobile app and other things happening. So do you want to talk about those things a little bit?
Yes, of course. So hello, everyone. It's so nice to be here. And yeah, I think product is one of the most exciting parts of DappRadar. And last call, I think Nick mentioned that we're building the mobile app, and I think all of you guys are pretty interested and excited when it's going to be live. So yeah, we're launching a beta version in the upcoming weeks, and there is exclusive opportunity for our pro users to become the first ones to try the app. So yeah, the form and where you can find how to apply for the beta version, I think will be shared in the pro users channel, and you know what to do if you want to become a pro user. So just check out the DappRadar.com/tokens/pro. And yeah, be excited about the mobile app. And we also have a video prepared and shared. So Cornelia will be the one that will share on our social media. So please check it out, and we can't wait to get this live. Also, one of the most important things that we're doing right now, and we're polishing our NFT Collections Explorer. And some of you may already saw how it will look like. So stay tuned, because it's also be launched in the next week or so. We are very excited. One other thing that I'm happy to share here, that it's official, and we're starting the development on DappRadar API. And everyone who's interested, please also go to DappRadar.com/API and yeah, fill in the form to get the early access to it. I think everyone will share, I think, all the links after the call in the Discord. More things regarding the product. So right now we are also focusing on the alerts feature. The alerts that will allow users to set custom alerts on dApps and NFT collections by adding some different types of triggers. This feature will be unlimited for our pro, so more exclusiveness and more features to pro users, but also it will be accessible for all of you guys with just some less features. Also, what we are working is to improve the user authentication journey for users to be easier to log in and to sign up to DappRadar.com, add their wallets. We are preparing a huge batch of DappRadar 2.0 that Nick, I think, mentioned in the previous call, and you, Ian, mentioned already, that we're gonna create the totally new DappRadar with the rankings and Dapp pages. And the Dapp store, we are creating some Dapp store for the partner. And yeah, it will be exciting, because I think it will be ready in the end of this month, and we'll share it with you guys. So just stay tuned. A lot of things coming.
Awesome. Thanks, Julija. Dragos, you want to jump in? I think we got some more bits to add on the community feature, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to add a bit more words about the alerts feature, which Julija just mentioned about. That's a feature that was, let's say, built together with our community, and I'm super excited about that, because since we have launched the token, some of you might know that if you are a pro user in our Discord server, you have access to different pro channels where you can see alerts about new dApps, new NFT mints, NFT sales, and then other things. You can check it out if you're a pro user. And we kept discussing with the users in our community, and that was one of the features that was requested, and we have tried to work together to understand more, like, what are the features that they would like to see, what are the alerts that they would like to have, and that's how we have built the alerts, which Julija just mentioned about. And that's super exciting, because it's probably the first time when we have started to communicate much better and to create this connection with the community and to build something together. It was not just coming from our side based on our research and based on our understanding of the market and our users' needs. So this is exactly what we're trying to do in the future. This is exactly why we're doing these calls. We want to keep everybody up to date with what we're building, get the feedback and build together.
Nice. And we've also got an upcoming announcement as well that we can't say too much about at the moment. Quite an exciting announcement for a Dapp Store page partner that we'll bring out next time, I think, in the next call, I believe. All right, so I just want to touch on that API again as well, because you guys mentioned the API, and I think this is a great feature whereby other external companies can basically plug into DappRadar data and produce the same rankings on their site. So it's very cool. And right at the moment, people are signing up for early access. So if it's something you're interested in, make sure you head over to DappRadar. Bottom of the site, you'll find the API tab. Click that and make your request there. All right, cool. So we've come to the end. I just want to say once again about the popes that are available for the show. So what you need to do is go to our official Discord and send a DM to Alex Mammoth. So that's Alex, ALEX, Mammoth, MAMMOTH, hashtag 7753. And the secret code is CCALL2. Okay? So I'll do that again at the end again, but now is the time when you guys get to ask your difficult questions. So if there's anybody out there in the audience who's listened to everything we've just said and wants to fire any questions in, now's your time. Don't be shy, people. Usually what we find is that people are quite happy to listen and learn, and then these questions kind of pop into their head a little bit later. So if that is the case, it's cool, no problem. You can always contact us through Discord and Twitter, or you can just reach out to us directly on our own Twitters and ask anything you want to ask, and we'll endeavor to get back to you on that. So just give it a minute, see if anybody wants to be brave and jump on the stage. I think you might be safe, guys, for this week. We are cool. All right, so we've got no requests for any questions, so that's all good. As I said, if you do have questions, because I'm sure you will think of things afterwards, please fire them over to us. That's what we're here for, to answer. So let me just tell you about the popes again. Go to Discord, private message or DM Alex Mammoth, ALEXMAMMOTH, hashtag 7753 with a secret code CCALL2, and you'll receive the link to get the Pope. All right. So, guys, just want to thank you all for attending. It's been a very cool community call, part 2. No technical issues like last time, so that's great. And the community call will also be uploaded onto YouTube later. So if you want to share it around or you feel like you want to listen again because you missed something, it'll be there for you, okay? So that's the DappRadar YouTube. So thanks to our speakers. You've all done a great job. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you to the people who have tuned in, to the community members that are here today to listen to us talk about DappRadar. We encourage you to keep participating and getting involved with us. A lot of exciting things coming. So once again, thanks to everyone. If you have any questions that you want to keep for the next call, the date for the next community call will be out in the next couple of weeks. We'll start promoting that. So that's it from us, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. We look forward to connecting with you in a month's time. Take care. Goodbye.